In this video, I will be trying something new, reading the Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 1, the story of grinding wheat and its philosophical significance. According to the ancient and revered custom, Hemad Pant begins the work, Sai Satcharitra, with various salutations. First, he makes signs to God Ganesha to remove all obstacles and make the work a success, and says that Sri Sai is the god Ganesha. Then to the goddess Saraswati to inspire him to write out the work, and says that Sri Sai is one with this goddess and that he is himself singing his own life. Then to the gods Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, the creating, preserving, and destroying deities, respectfully, and says that Sainath is one with them, and he, as the great teacher, will carry us across the river of worldly existence. Then to his tutelary deity, Narayanadinant, who manifested himself in Konkan, the land reclaimed by Parashurama from the sea, and to the Adi, original Purusha of the family. Then to the Bharadwaja Muni, into whose Gotra he was born, and also to various rishis, Yagyavalakya, Bhrigu, Parashara, Narad, Vedavyasa, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatkumar, Shuka, Shaunak, Vishwamitra, Vashishta, Valmiki, Vamadeva, Jaimini, Vaishampayan, Nava Yogendra, etc. And also modern saints such as Nivritri, Janjana, Jananadev, Sopan, Muktabai, Janardhan, Ekanath, Namdev, Tukaram, Kana, and Nahari, etc. Then to his grandfather, Sadashiv, father Raghunath, his mother who left him in his infancy, to his paternal aunt who brought him up, and to his loving elder mother. Then to the readers, and praise him to give their whole and undivided attention to his work. And lastly, to his guru, Sri Sainath, an incarnation of Sri Dattatreya, who is his sole refugee, and who will make him realize that Brahman is a reality and the world is an illusion. And incidentally, to all the beings in whom the Lord God dwells. And after describing in brief the various models of devotion according to the Parashara, Vyasa, Sandilya, etc., the author goes on to relate the following story. It was sometime after 1910 AD that I went on one fine morning to the masjid in Shirdi for getting a darshan of Sai Baba. I was wonderstruck to see the following phenomenon. After washing his mouth and face, Sai Baba began to make preparations for grinding wheat. He spread a sack on the floor. Thereon set a handmill. He took some quantity of wheat in a winnowing fan, and then drawing up the sleeves of his kafni, and taking hold of the peg of the handmill, started grinding the wheat by putting a few handfuls of wheat in the upper opening of the mill and rotated it. I thought, what business Baba had with the grinding of wheat, when he possessed nothing and stored nothing, and as he lived on alms. Some people who had come there thought likewise, but none had the courage to ask Baba what he was doing. Immediately this news of Baba's grinding wheat spread into the village, and at once men and women ran to the masjid and flocked there to see Baba's act. Four bold women from the crowd forced their way up, and pushing Baba aside, took forcibly of the peg or handle into their hands, and singing Baba's leelas, started grinding. At first Baba was enraged, but on seeing the woman's love and devotion, he was much pleased and began to smile. While they were grinding, they began to think that Baba had no house or property, no children, none to look after, and he lived on alms. He did not require any flour for making bread or roti. What will he do with this big quantity of flour? Perhaps Baba is very kind, he will distribute the flour amongst us. Thinking in this way, while singing, they finished grinding, and after putting the handmill aside, they divided the flour into four portions and began to remove them one per head. Baba, who was calm and quiet until now, got wild and started abusing them, saying, "Ladies, are you gone mad? Whose father's property are you looting away? Have I borrowed any wheat from you so that you can safely take the flour? Now please do this. Take the flour and throw it on the village border limits." On hearing this, the women felt abashed and, whispering amongst themselves, went away to the outskirts of the village and spread the flour as directed by Baba. I asked the Shirdi people, what was this that Baba did? They replied that as the cholera epidemic was spreading in the village, and this and this was Baba's remedy against the same. It was not wheat that was ground, but the cholera itself was ground to pieces and pushed out of the village. From this time onward, the cholera epidemic subsided, and the people of the village were happy. I was much pleased to know all this, but at the same time my curiosity was also aroused. I began to ask myself, what earthly connection was there between wheat flour and cholera? What was the causal relationship between the two, and how to reconcile them? The incident seems to be inexplicable. I should write something on this and sing to my heart's content and Baba's sweet Leelas. Thinking in this way about Leela, my heart was filled with joy, and I was thus inspired to write Baba's life, the Satcharitra. And as we know, with Baba's grace and blessing, this work was successfully accomplished. The philosophical significance of grinding. Apart from the meaning which the people of Shirdi put on this incident of grinding wheat, there is, we think, a philosophical significance too. Sai Baba believed in Shirdi for about 60 years, and during this long period, he did the business of grinding almost every day, not, however, the wheat alone, but the sins, the mental aff- afflictions, and the miseries of his innumerable devotees. The two stones of his mill consisted of karma and bhakti, the former being the lower and the latter the upper one. The handle with which Baba worked on the mill consisted of jnana. It was the firm conviction of Baba that knowledge or self-realization is not possible unless there is a prior act of grinding all our impulses, desires, sins, and of the three gunas, viz. Sattva and Raja and Tama, and the Ahamkara, which is so subtle and therefore so difficult to be got rid of. This reminds us of a similar story of Kabir, who, seeing a woman grinding the corn, said to his guru, Nipat Ranjana, I am weeping because I feel the agony of being crushed in this wheel of worldly existence like the corn in the handmill. Nipan Ranjana replied, do not be afraid. Hold fast to the handle of knowledge of this mill, as I do, and do not wander far away from the same, but turn inward to the center, and you are sure to be saved. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace to all.